of his risky slow balls. A good time against pace of 17 of 12 balls. Yep, punched away into the deep. Crowd seen that. Gets to his 50, his fourth. It's been a good knock. Plain and simple, very good, very purposeful. Looking for runs from ball number one. Well done, Sathira Samaravikrama.
Yeah, very nice. As you mentioned, Sanjay, just well constructed. Went about his play with great purpose. Had good energy right from the start. Pretty strong strike rate as well. It's been ticking in and around that sort of 80, 90, 100 pretty much the whole innings. Exactly the sort of mindset that is required in a small run chase. Also, what was interesting is he wasn't happy with his under 50 score. Got a little close. He wanted to punch it through the cover point region, but he was angry with himself. He got back on the horse quickly with the next delivery, a little wider, punish it through cover point. So you need that hunger as a player as well.
And he's flourished in the company of the left-hander Srilanka. He's got a fantastic one-day record. Darita Srilanka, still early days, but average 41, strike rate in the 90s. Batsman number 5, difficult position. 50 overs cricket, you want to be at number 1, 2, and 3. Not so much in Test cricket, but certainly 50 overs. But number 5, got to just be like a chameleon, isn't it? Adapt to the situation, wickets fall. You've got to show the defensive side. Need runs quickly, show the big game.
I think you need to be an excellent player of spin as well at that stage. So that chameleon role is an important one. 100%. Good cover driver. Good flicks off the legs as well, and loves a pull shot. Look at that. That's a delightful stroke. That weights back on the board. Always though keeps his momentum and his head forward. Little press. You can't play in front of square off the quick unless you're pressing into the ball. Excellent, both sides of the wicket. If I have one criticism, it would be that he needs to play a little straighter as well. Down in the V. Again, brilliant. 4 more. Loves that shot. Sweats on length and gets it.
Short enough, and he gets into the act, joins his partner in getting quick runs. The Sri Lankan supporters feel that they've got to see the target and this kind of short delivery. Maybe it was a touch higher than he anticipated initially, but the way he rolled his wrist on that and played it into the ground was terrific.
Gone are those days when batters would go onto the back foot to play the pull shot. It's all off the front foot, especially in this format. And T20s, maybe Test cricket, you see batters use space behind the crease. 114 for 3 Sri Lanka. Target is 165, and you're right, Shamim. The crowd now sensing the team is going to be notching their first win in this Asia Cup 2023, defending champions. The last Asia Cup was first T20 Asia Cup.
Well, you should never give up as a Bangladesh unit. You've got to tell yourself now the captain is going to be back in the attack. A couple of quick wickets and Kent will be amongst the pigeons. It's a funny old game, as we keep on saying. The Bangladesh should not give up hard. I know it's a situation where they're really the backs to the wall, but that's when you show your mettle. And that's where you could show some resilience and put up some fight. You just can't afford to give up fighting, and this is a man who never does. He will always be at it. Shakib Al Hasan will be hoping that he can fox the batters and get a wicket, give Bangladesh some hope to come back into this game.
So it seems like Sri Lanka might win this. Which is the next game, guys? Day after?
Yeah, that's a pretty big game, isn't it, Sanjay? Oh, wow. Look at this one. Group A, super special, that one. Pakistan and India going head-to-head in another battle, in another great tournament. Both sides in form. Pakistan already got a win under their belt. They'll have the confidence.
And how many times have India-Pakistan featured in an Asia Cup final? Quiz question for you guys. There you go. 2nd September. Pakistan with one win against Nepal. Saw the class of Babar Azam, Iftikhar as well. The seam bowlers also put on a great show. Indians very keen to come improve their worth as well. Rohit Sharma was delighted that he had a one-week camp in Bangalore. He said it's the first time we'll be able to get time to work on our skills and other things rather than just going and trying to win games. So he's pretty charged up. That pad first. That's the claim from the keeper.
That's the ball Shakib bowls so very well, the arm ball, so it deceives the batter. The thing that's going to turn away, keeps on holding it slide. Bowls a little ground armish action. There's enough revs on the ball, but what it does is cramp you for space and creep through that gap. Good over. Tight over, 25 done, 114 for 3.
So Sri Lanka just need 51 to win their opening game of the Asia Cup 2023. Bangladesh were bowled out for. Toss was won by Shakib and decided to have a bat first. Patirana with the 4 for 32 was the pick. So was Thikshana with his 2 for 19 in reply. And they lost a couple of early wickets. This partnership now of 71 from 97 has settled Sri Lanka. Bangladesh are still trying to get themselves back in the game. They need wickets. It's been a really good partnership there from Patan.
Absolutely. It came at the right time. 71 runs, 98 balls. When the bowlers were bowling really tight lines, they were looking like they're going to take wicket every over. And this is when you need, he's asking for 2. He will not get it. Srilanka, the kind of strength he provides to the Sri Lanka batting lineup, especially the way he faces spin, plays the sweep shot really well, rotates the strike well. An excellent player for some time now for Sri Lanka.
Yeah, you're spot on. Those sweep shots when spinners were just putting him under pressure. A boundary early on in the over.
And this is what the Bangladeshi batters lacked. You know, that intent to play like a sweep shot or rotating the strike regularly. Sri Lanka and Satira showed how to bat on these kind of pitches, where there's a little bit of grip for the spinners. There still is.
Well, they just struggled to rotate strike and got themselves under pressure and then thought we need a big shot here and then got out. no use of any feet, were there? They weren't coming down, they weren't sweeping. So when you look at the comparisons at the moment, 101 for 4, that's all Bangladesh were at this stage. So they were still okay. They just needed a partnership, someone to grab the game by the scruff of his neck and actually put a total on. End of the over. 1 run comes from it. 26 gone, 115 for 3. Well, 15 for 3 then, 26 overs done. Shakib is still trying to find a way to get into this Sri Lankan middle order. Couple of wickets now. You just see there's something still there for the spinners. And they are trying to push hard to try and get themselves back in it. At the moment, Sri Lanka shouldn't lose this game. 50 from 143. Still got to work at it. Still got to keep trying to build a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. They are in total control. Funny things have happened in cricket.
Nice looking shot. Should just be one. It is one. But a fan pulse question for you. Can Sri Lanka defend their crown? 67% say no. 33 yes. Someone's just joined us who probably would disagree with 67%. Marvin Atapatu. Surely too far down. Surely too far down. Can they defend it?
Well, they have the ammunition to defend it. It's about how well they apply themselves on the day.
I think they're going to miss Srilanka big time, especially in the business end of the Asia Cup. Guys like Madhu Shankar, Lahiru Kumara with the extra pace, Chamira. Those bowlers going to be big miss. And big one is Srilanka.
There's that lack of spin again. Just skids on with the arm. End of another over. 2 runs from it. 27 done. 117 for 3. 74 from 109 in this partnership between Samarik Rama and Srilanka. 51 from 72, 33 from 53. What I've liked about this partnership is they've just not panicked. Been able to rotate strike and get an early boundary here and there.
Well, it's not about you playing your normal game. It's about adjusting and adapting to what the team wants. Of course, you got to score as an individual to be able to be in the team. That's a different story. But the time demands, the moment demands for you to sort of put up a partnership with your colleague and see the team through.
Batters have found tough to get going in this pitch. First the Bangladeshi. And now not a single six has been hit during the whole match. Not only in just one inning. pitch has definitely made the batters work hard. Little grip, spinners, there is help. For fast bowlers, there is help. We saw how Taskin bowled really well. Athirana bowled outstandingly well with those variation, with that extra pace. There's a bouncer if you bowl. There's some nice carry into it as well.
On a wicket like this, you need character. You need to show character. You need to show application to be able to come trumps. That's exactly what Sri Lanka is now showing, and in the bowling the middle overs too.
Marwan, is it a typical candy pitch? Because I played here many years ago, around 11 years ago. Wasn't this kind of pitch? Was good to bat on.
Well, I reckon the second innings has always been, as I always said, right throughout. It is better for batting than the first half. I think it lived up to that. You rather bat now than in the morning session.
Nice little dab sweep. Trying to push for two. Yeah, really good running. Really good from both Sadira and Srilanka. End of the 28th, 121 for 3. Showing that little dab sweep there. Really positive running, like in and out of the field under pressure. Still do the basics right. Then required for Sri Lanka to win their opening game. Just wondering whether Shaki just try and build a bit of pressure, bring somebody up into the circle, make the batter hit down the ground or something, or play across. So could he bring up long on? Could he bring up deep mid-wicket? Could he, just to try and build some pressure?
I reckon he can easily bring on the mid-on up to the circle, have the mid-wicket towards square leg, and have the mid-wicket field in between square leg and mid-on.
I think you just got to try something, haven't you, Irfan? Something at this stage as a field inside.
Absolutely, otherwise the game will go on. And Sri Lanka will get this 44 runs pretty easily. Just wickets. Wickets is what can get Bangladesh in the game. He's trying with his variation, with his bowling, but in terms of fielding changes, not a bad feel at all, what Marwan said. That country, that deep mid-wicket, let him go over the top of over mid-on and mid-off.
I quite agree. I mean, he's now trying to sort of wait until the batsman do a mistake, which in real sense, I don't think Sri Lanka will take any risk, knowing this is the 8th over of Shaki.
Yeah, he's happy just to see it out at the moment. 5 dot deliveries. He doesn't mind if Shaki bowls a maiden here. So ahead of the game at the moment. Don't have to take any risks. A little bit quicker, flatter, and a maiden for Shakib. 29 done, 121 for 3. So a few options for Shakib to think about now.
comparisons are remarkable. Bangladesh at this stage are 121 for 4, so just 2 runs ahead, Sri Lanka. There's that sweep. And he's back. He slips. There's a little bit of dew around, and he'll pick up 2.
After this only, the comparison you talked about, Dominic. Tikshana came in, got the breakthrough. Pathirana came in, got back-to-back wickets as well. Who's going to do that for Bangladesh? Only 1 hour left after this for Saqib.
Yeah, you look at the comparisons, it's really close. And Worms are really close. What Bangladesh wants are wickets. If they get another couple here, all of a sudden then, pressure on that late order. Top edged. This is over that square leg. And he's just cleared up a couple of runs.
What Sri Lanka doesn't want at this stage is Asalanka's return to the pavilion. Asalanka is the mainstay. He got to see Sri Lanka through. Done everything right. Put up a big partnership with Samaravikrama. Lost Samaravikrama. Now he cannot take too many risks. At least till Dhananjaya get on to his strike.
Yeah, it's too easy that. In some ways, he wants to sweep and sweep and then push down the ground. Look at the average turn in the match so far. And Bangladesh are getting more turn. Percentage just slightly higher for Bangladesh, whether that's because the wicket is slightly older, maybe gripping a little bit more.
Well, if at all, I would have thought it skids through more. Less turn, but not to be. They are purchasing more spin.
Bowled full. Bangladesh are back in this, I can tell you right now. It's a big wicket for Shakib. And De Silva has to go.
Unfortunately, this is not good cricket by Sri Lankan. Dhananjaya De Silva, one of their senior members, knowing it's the penultimate over from Saqib, playing a shot like that is not good enough. Sorry to say, it's not good enough. That is not taking responsibility, finishing off games. You are one of the best batters Sri Lanka has. You got to be more responsible. Dhananjaya De Silva goes for 2 of 7 deliveries. Sri Lanka 101 to 8 for 5.
And it's time for drinks.
Long and rich history going head to head.
The difference between making history and being history one day. Jerseys will be worn and chests will swell with pride on that one day. Passion will triumph logic and memories will be etched on that one day. Fears will be conquered and odds will be braved on that one day. From the highs of joy to the lows of anguish, it will all be embraced on that one day. Rivalries will be redefined on the pitch and respect reimagined in the stands. The power of belief will emerge from the hearts of a billion. Songs will be sung, dances will be danced. And eyes will widen in wonder on that one day. that day finally comes, glory will be immortalized. This is the ICC Men's Cricket World Cup. For everything ever dreamt for, wished for, lived for. It takes one day.
All about this game. Sri Lanka beating India 2004 Asia Cup in Colombo. You got 65 in the game. What a moment.
Yes, you remember that glory days, at least for me. I cherish them, yes. I remember all that. Had a good team, luckily. Very good team. Likes of Sanat and Gakaras and all those guys.
Remember that game, but don't want you to remember.
Well, I was going to say, India got to 228 for 9. Sorry, Sri Lanka with 228 for 9, and you defended that. 203 for 9 is where India got to. Must have bowled well. It was in Colombo.
Well, 225 is a winning score at Premadasa. Those days, at least.
Yeah, remember we were in the game for some time. But we also knew that, scoring 200 plus in that pitch, which had a bit of help for the fast bowlers as well as the spinners. Little slowish side. We knew that we had to bat really well. We had to start really well, which we didn't.
In the air, it's a beautiful shot. A really good shot. Shakib had brought long off up into the circle. This is a class shot.
It is. Played with the spin. Wait for it. No fielder there. No actual risk. And timed it to perfection. Good shot. Fantastic shot. Going through the line of the ball. Long off. Almost got a 6 for it.
You talk about that pitch in Colombo. My last game internationally was in Colombo against India in a Champions Trophy. We got 260. So if you thought 228 was good, we thought we'd won the game. Unfortunately, there was someone called Ganguly and Sehwag, and you won it. India won it in 30 overs. Thank you very much. My last game. 32 overs done, 132 for 5. Then required. 132 for 5. And that was that game there, right there, that Colombo game. And talk about defending that. There must have been some good bowling. Because as you said, Irfan, you were still in the game. Tendulkar 74.
Yeah, and when we thought we bowl Sri Lanka out for 328, I thought as a bowling unit we were pretty happy. We had a wonderful bowling lineup, but right now, Rashul Shanaka, last 5 innings, he just scored 12 runs. Just 12 runs. Not in form at all.
And just to finish off that story about my last game in Colombo, Nasser Hussain with 19 overs to go said, would you fancy a bowl? Then India needed 4 to win. I said, of course I'll have a bowl. I think the ball is still going out of Colombo right now, and 20 odd years later.
What did he say after the game?
He said, thanks a lot, great career, Dominic. That was Nasser Hussain, my captain. And I know he's listening. You did say it. and never played again. That was it.
At least he stick to his words.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think I got in a couple of squads, but never played.
Well, I have a memorable story to say about that game. When Baji walked in with long sleeves, Sangha from behind said, "You look very smart." No, sorry, he walked in short sleeves to bat. He normally goes in long sleeves. He said, "You look very smart in short sleeves." And Sangha got fined 25% of his match fees for saying it.
He's saying he just dressed smartly. Wow. Was it exactly like that? Great stories, great memories. End of another good over. Just 2 runs from it. 33 overs done, 134 for 5.
और भी बहुत सारे गेम। हेलो दोस्तों, ऑनलाइन आईडी लेने के लिए 3 पत्ती ड्रैगन टाइगर और भी बहुत सारे गेम। हेलो दोस्तों, ऑनलाइन आईडी लेने के लिए नीचे दिए गए लिंक पर या स्क्रीन पर दिए गए व्हाट्सएप नंबर पर मैसेज करें और लीजिए 24 आवर्स सर्विस सुपर फास्ट विड्रॉल। तो देर किस बात की, अभी व्हाट्सएप मैसेज करें और खेलें क्रिकेट, कैसीनो, 3 पत्ती ड्रैगन टाइगर और भी बहुत सारे गेम। हेलो दोस्तों, ऑनलाइन आईडी लेने के लिए नीचे दिए गए लिंक पर या स्क्रीन पर दिए गए व्हाट्सएप नंबर पर मैसेज करें और लीजिए 24 आवर्स सर्विस सुपर फास्ट विड्रॉल। तो देर किस बात की, अभी व्हाट्सएप मैसेज करें और खेलें क्रिकेट, कैसीनो, 3 पत्ती ड्रैगन टाइगर और भी बहुत सारे गेम। हेलो दोस्तों, ऑनलाइन आईडी लेने के लिए
Much been shown. It's done exceedingly well. 6 for Srilanka. He gets those 2 runs, will be getting his 950 in one-day internationals. He's done well holding the innings together like Najmul Hussain Shambu did for Bangladesh. Content to just play with soft hands.
Versus spin boundaries. Russian white ones there. Plays back in his crease. He waits for the short ball and tugs it to the onside. There's a great deal of intent. It hasn't been that night, has it, for both teams? When you think about early wickets inside the first 10 overs, 3 for Sri Lanka. It wasn't until that partnership with Samarik Rama and Srilanka that got him on track to this small run chase. Even when you think of their strike rates in comparison to the modern day cricketer, sitting around that 70 mark. So it's been a night of circumspect, something unusual when it comes to ODI cricket, which is usually full of flurry. The T20 version of the game has really promoted that, even in the 50-over match.
Even before the Bangladesh team came to this Asia Cup, there was talk about 300+ runs on a regular basis. But even looking at the wicket, I just don't feel there are gremlins in the wicket per se. It's just the approach and the early fall of wickets that had stunted the run flow.
I've heard 500 runs. No, seriously. I mean, when you think about T20 cricket, the kind of totals that are getting scored regularly now, and I'm not saying even in the first innings, in the second innings, regularly chasing down 10 and over from the get-go. 50 overs, my maths aren't great, but at 10 and over, that's a big total.
Not going to be tonight. Maybe the combined total will be somewhere around 300. 36 done, 145 for 5. There has been some semblance of control so far. 22 in 6 overs, the 6th over. You want to ensure that they really have to work hard. Srilanka will be content. He's played really to the merit of the ball. 49 of 82 has been an innings that he can be proud of in the sense that's held it together. Backs away, trying to find that single to get him to his 50. It's been very impressive.
Well, it's a very good setup innings for a tournament. It's a condensed tournament and you need to get off to a flyer. Get that confidence high at the start of the tournament, no point at the end. So Sri Lanka do go on to win this match. It'll be a little tick like Pakistan was as well against Nepal over in Pakistan yesterday. Just a tick in the box, early momentum. Get off to a start. You get behind in this tournament. It's an unusual way to bring up this 50, but his 9th half century. Sri Lanka deserves a half century tonight. It was a well-constructed innings. Small run chase, needed a partnership and got one.
Absolutely. He's done a grand job for his team. He's just been content to show a lot of resilience, patience. Has paid off. Seen wickets tumble around him. 85 ball 50 has just given that requirement of keeping it all together, not getting overawed by the fall of wickets. And now they say it's time for the charge. Shimmy down the wicket, gets a hold of it, and Shanaka blasts it to the boundary.
Now that's very nice. He is a destructive batsman. The skipper of Sri Lanka was happy enough because of the weather to accept at the toss a run chase, and this would have been the perfect, if he had it in his mind to arrive and chase down a Bangladesh total, 160 odd would have been the perfect one.
Got to finish the over, that is the 37th, it's 150 or 5. For Srilanka, Shanaka joining in the fun in the previous over with a boundary down the line, down the ground. Victory in the horizon. It's taken a bit of time. Maybe it'll stand them in good stead in fighting back despite losing wickets. Sri Lanka can be pretty proud of what they've achieved. Very happy with their bowling prowess, and now some of the batters have put up their hand.
Yeah, that monkey off the back effect. When you're at home defending the Asian Cup, it's really, really important that you just do the simple and basic things right, and they've done that. When you even think back to their bowling performance, Pataranda was particularly impressive. They're down a number of key assets with the ball. Some of their real champions not present, but they've stood up, and again with the bat, it's not their fault that they've got a small total to chase down, but they're doing so handsomely, even in spite of being in a little bit of trouble inside those 10 overs. So plenty of good signs for Sri Lankan supporters, and plenty of good signs in that dressing room as well as to the confidence and the expectations that will grow as their confidence does in this tournament.
Other side of the coin, Haydos, is Bangladesh. They'll be literally disappointed with the performance. Jared, let's have a look at the scoring areas. Pretty much 360 degrees. No deft touches or glances down behind square, but enough on either side of the wicket. That's picked up. That's going a long, long way. That's going for the maximum. What a flourish. The first 6 of the game.
Well, there was no deft touch about that. That's hammered away. Drops a bit short, does Mehdi. And that's the first one of the match. Rocks back, bang. Deep into cow corner. Big ground. And ideally placed. Look at that. Sailing away into the beautiful night sky.
That's the wonderful mix that he has. He's not sort of going to say, I'm going to finish it in 2 or 3 deliveries. He's content to pay respect to the good ball. He's going to take on the bowler when he gives him a little bit of a gift. Sensible batting. Once again, using the depth of the crease very well. And we finish over number 38. 158 for 5.
superb little partnership. Samara Rama, 54, 77 balls. Decent strike rate, and that's Srilanka as well.
Just going back to that situation that Bangladesh find themselves with just 164 in the first game. It will play on their minds, that's for sure. We're going to travel tomorrow to Pakistan, to Lahore, where they play a strong Afghanistan unit. And they would have wanted to take something from this game. Maybe a couple of positives to take, but not too many. Wonderful display of batting all around the ground. Very strong on the onside with shots forward of square, taking him on and shimmy down the wicket. Inside out shot, not the easiest, and some simple gifts to take him racing away and his team to that win, which is coming sooner than later.
Well, the one positive is Shanto. He got 89, good strike rate as well. That's a positive for Bangladesh. Just needed a bit more support, didn't he? Up top, a few changes in the opening combination. Needed to have a bit more in him. Just sort of nothing really. No contributions apart from that one, and that's not good enough. You need to have 3 or 4 decent combinations and decent partnerships, and they couldn't find it tonight, Bangladesh. And what that means is you really only need one partnership, which we've seen from a batting perspective, chasing. And had they been chasing even 250, say, even if they were 20-30 below par, it would have put pressure on the home team here, Sri Lanka, under what's been quite leaden skies, an unusual weather pattern up here. Sri Lanka, both sides of the wicket, loves to tug to that onside though. That's his specialty. In fact, it's pretty much the specialty of all the Sri Lankan batsmen. They love to hit the square of the wicket on both sides.
More in hope than an appeal from Tuscan than any conviction. Umpire not at all interested, but I think they've gone upstairs for a little bit of a review. Why not?
That smile pretty much
TV
says it all,
umpire
though.
director, we have a player review for LBW, given not out on the field. Check the front foot, and it's a fair delivery. If you can have a look at front on, please. Okay, just drop that back, please. Through. Okay, can we just have a look at all trades to confirm that there's no batting ball there, please? Okay, flat line all the way through to the pad. And ball tracking when ready, please. Okay, pitched outside off, impact in line, wickets, umpire's call. Okay, we'll go back to Paul on field to stay with his original decision of not out. We're on screen now.
Well, even he's got a smile on his face. It smiles all around, particularly with the supporters of Sri Lanka. And afford to smile. They had a few periods of time when there's a bit of tension, but these two have done exceedingly well. But sometimes you get that extra bit of bounce. Tuscan did. He must have been hoping that the bounce could have been a little lower. Got the ball on target.
He needed to be more like you and my height, I think. You're a big tall boy, you hit the wicket hard like that. Generally speaking, on this wicket up here, it's going to go over the stumps. He may be a little different in Pakistan, though. You hit that sort of length, and it's very, very rarely going over the stumps there.
Bangladesh bowlers have got to just adjust to the conditions very, very quickly. lot of traveling, and with the different kind of nature of wickets, it's warmer in Lahore, I understand, compared to the lovely weather we have here in Kandy. But that's going to take a toll on their efforts. A lot of fine-tuning to be done. Shakib Al Hasan will be hoping there's a little bit more grip from the wicket. Hasn't been enough purchase of the track as expected as we moved on to the second part of the day. It just played reasonably right the way through.
Probably lucky, actually, for Shaki, because both his dismissals have been through straight ones. Ball's just going straight on to hit the stumps. Odd one has grip, but you're right, it hasn't. Return, good shot, whipped away, loves that shot. A little flick off his legs. Srilanka starting to put the foot down.
Sri Lanka have done it. They've won by 5 wickets. Very, very convincing win. The most consecutive wins for Sri Lanka in ODIs was in 2023. That is 11 consecutive matches. Wonderful prowess shown. Bangladesh have had a very difficult day today. Really been able to put the runs on the board, allowing the Sri Lankans to dominate right from the word go. And as I mentioned, very, very convincing when dignitaries of the Asian Cricket Council enjoyed this battle between Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, with Sri Lanka went very clinically and comfortably, 5 wickets. Handshakes, good camaraderie, despite in-your-face sort of occasions that you happen to see in the field. Good understanding between the two teams. Good to see.